but it's from World Vision, the charity who made this tournament possible. Again, big thank you to our good friend David, who helped bump up the prize pool as well, so that we got an awesome $800. And there's a lot to talk about, but this is still the best of 3. It's the semifinals, but we should note that at this point going forward, no player will walk away with less than $75 in prize money.
Hey, that's not a bad little day as a StarCraft player. Let's go.
I'll tell you what, it's a really good day if you get first place, because it's $275 for first, 75 for losing at this point. Big difference between those two numbers.
Yes.
A little bit.
That's you know what that is? That's the Punisher difference between those two numbers.
Oh, I like it. I see what you did there. I like it.
Oh, for sure.
All right, well, let's get these intros
Mr.
done.
Maximus Black.
Yeah.
Hit me up with the sound of the Punisher showing up on your doorstep.
I'm the Punisher.
I was hoping that'd be a little more literal.
Does he just show up, knock on the door, open the... I'm the Punisher.
Yeah.
I just walk away?
I'm on your doorstep.
I got a wallet, and it's
Would you like to buy some cookies?
All right, guys.
Starting up here, we have Soul in the top left position as the blue Terran. And down here in the bottom right, we got Blah Blah as the red Zerg.
Blah, blah, blah.
So we've all been acquainted with these players at this point. I don't think I need to give the reintroductions, but I should know that this should be a really fun one, because Bly, as noted, stubborn, aggressive, Nidus Worms, you name it, he's got it. I think he's slightly favored versus Soul in my books, but only like a 60-40 split type thing. But Soul is also one of the more aggressive Terrans as witnessed in the previous series, so we might actually see him, maybe not in this game, but in next games, like hit Bly up with a couple buildings on the other side of the map.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you talked about ZVT probably 4 games ago, saying it's your favorite matchup, or were you saying it's... Yes,
I love it.
So what do you love about it? Is it the dynamic of the two different and how they just, you know, complement each other in terms of battle, or is there certain types of play styles that you prefer to see?
So this is obviously my opinion, and I'm going to be wrong in some people's eyes, and that's okay.
It's subjective. Go ahead. Be your own truth.
I think what I like about watching this one, because obviously I'm not playing it right now, it's 2 pros playing it in front of us, right? My favorite thing about watching this is I feel like this matchup has the best potential for comebacks out of all matchups. Like for Protoss versus Terran, once somebody's ahead, it's really hard to lose that lead unless you throw horribly, right? But in TVZ, there's that right mix of like Widow Mines or tanks with splash damage, you got Banelings, like you can equalize forces that are not equal, unlike other matchups. Obviously, it's different when you hit the late stages, right? You got Ultras, you got Ghosts, that's a whole nother can of worms, but getting to the late stage is more possible, I feel, in this matchup because of what I've just mentioned, and it makes it more interesting to watch, in my opinion. Mic drop.
What's a late game? Because I actually don't know what that is.
Yeah, we're kind of getting like 10-minute games today.
Language? Is that Spanish? It sounds like Spanish.
Well, you know that one Reaper did a lot of damage, right? Killed 5 Zerglings.
Yo, it did, but we gotta give a quick shout out to the Micro Assault. Rather than build the orbital right away, he loaded the SCV into it, unloaded it on the other side, and got it away from the Zergling. He actually kept that SCV alive.
That's a lot of work for one SCV, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do, you know?
Dude,
sometimes you just gotta whip it out and show them, and just let them know like who you're up against, especially when it's the first game of the series. Sometimes you just gotta let them know. You gotta flex on them and say, listen, no SCV dies. Not today, not ever. Get used to it.
By the way, we forgot to talk about this because it happened during the break. The timing was just a little unfortunate, but Matrum, everybody. This guy gifted tons of subs on the channel over the last week. You've definitely seen his name in chat. I think he's still one of the top 5 cheers on the channel or something like that. Matrum donated $100 towards World Vision during the break.
Let's go.
Thank you so much, man. Wow. I wonder what the average donation on the last tournament was, like $100. It's probably more on this stream right now.
Yeah, but that's H-Timer's fault. By the way, speaking of the fault,
wow! Look at this!
Wow! Look at the Queen Micro there. That wasn't an A move and like poorly done. Soul tried to go around, Bly matched him, fat block for the Queens, and he denies all attacks. And now what he denied on top of this further was the Nidus Worm Scout.
The
Hellions didn't see it.
You know what happened there? I just talked about Soul whipping it out. Well, Bly went down, or Soul went down to Bly's base, and Bly whipped it out in front of him and said, listen, bro, you shall not pass. And here is the Nidus. A lot of Queens going in there. The SCVs have been pulled, and this is not looking good for our Terran player.
This is chaos. One of the Cyclones went down. The other one is half life at the
GG.
moment. The Queens had a lot of energy.
Yo,
lots
transfuses
of
are nice.
Not much to be done there.
Jeff's the
That
guy who
Liberator goes
offensively
down.
GG's. God damn it.
That's
GG.
it. GG.
That's all I'm gonna say is
GG.
GG.
Planting the flag. He can just send in
Oh, the
Verlins
Nidus
this
were
point.
back.
Oh, the
He just paid him
micro
back
with the
for that
Nidus.
SCV from earlier.
Oh, man. Isn't that Nidus like a warp prism? That was
him.
just disgusting.
Dude.
GG. That's all I gotta say.
I just want to point out there was more swag and style in the micro of that game than I've seen out of any Korean in the last month. Like that was from the
Got
SCV
him.
early to the Nidus storm at the end. That was a. Whew.
That was good
Hey, is it
stuff.
just me? Is it just me, or is the Korean level just not?
God.
Listen, you know what? Koreans, they need to step their game up because the foreigners are coming.